And we're back for game number 2 in this best of 3 series. Gigabyte Mineski versus also a Gigabyte team in the G1 Gigabyte sponsored challenge here. Team Mushi, consisting of pretty much half of Titan, Mushi and a friend pretty much. And they play against challengers. Whoever wins against Team Mushi gets $500 on the hand right away. But unfortunately, nobody managed to get this team down. Someone has to come up with it. Mineski tried it in game number 1. They were holding on all the time. It didn't work out. So, second game is the chance to come back, make it a 1-1 here. Of course, that would be awesome for us, awesome for the viewers, awesome for everyone. More Dota to see. Either way, my name is HeflaTV. You're here on HeflaTV, and of course, casting with me is Mr. Superbrit Blackadder.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen, or afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm looking forward to this game. We had a good game number 1. We saw a good demonstration of the push draft at its finest and why you generally can't run the Void up against it all too easily. But this game, it seems we're going to be seeing possibly much of the same. However, the Razor will change hands this time. The Razor in the hands of Mineski instead of Team Mushi.
Yeah.
However, slightly different bans this time around as well. We see a ban on the Titan Viper, as well as the Lycan and the Tinker. The Tinker once again getting the respect ban, it seems, and disabling it from Jacko's hands, considering I believe we mentioned in the first draft how powerful he is with that Tinker.
Yep, you remember what I said there. Like, I mean, there was some background information thanks to our awesome statsman who is joining us here today from Sanctivian's label of statsman. Either way, yeah. Tinker, they have respect, and I was thinking about maybe now we get the Void on the other side, now that they handed over the Razor. But no, they decide, hey, Death Prophet, it worked out once, why not going twice, and the Doom making the entire thing even harder. On the other side, Mineski, yeah, you said it, they decided for different bans as such. We have a Tidehunter, which is very... how can I say it? I mean, the Tidehunter, we haven't seen the Tidehunter first ban so far in all of those challenges, as far as I remember at least. The Viper, yes, we had that already in the first ban, but yeah, it leaves a lot of space for potential other picks. I don't know if Mineski wants to go for another Void, because apparently Team Mushi, they handled the Void. They manhandled him, let's say it like this. And the fact is, the highest chrono amount he got was 2 heroes in. And all the others, they were always perfectly spread out. Sometimes even we had the Witchdog driving out with Death Ward whatsoever. It just didn't work out. The Void just did not work out. It was not the Void we expected.
No, it was not. And honestly, looking at this draft, do you honestly want to pick a Void into a Death Prophet and a Doom? That's probably not the wisest pickup.
No, if the Doom gets the initiation, and then your Void is even screwed. More screwed than last game.
It'll all come down to the Doom. If you can get maybe an early Blink Dagger, look for the initiation, it can completely neuter a Void. Quite literally. There is no way for the Void to do anything in a team fight after an initiation from a Doom. But the ball is in Mineski's court here. What are they going to opt for to go with this Razor? We do have the Shadow Shaman available, the Skywrath Mage. I mentioned the Shadow Shaman because it brings the ability to push down towers without really threatening your hero. You can deploy the wards and walk away for the most part. Instead, we'll see a Nature's Prophet. So this was banned out in the last game as well. We could see a split push style of Prophet. We could see a brawler style of Prophet. Do you have any expectations knowing these teams?
It could be either way. Maybe Gigabyte Mineski here, they decide they want to go for something pushy. Maybe that fits their playstyle better. But at the moment they just ban out so that, yeah, Team Mushi is not getting it in their hands. For Team Mushi, there's the decision if they still want to get out that Void, just in case Mineski decides to go for a second round there. But for now, they decide to want to ban out the SK. Okay, something they don't want to deal with. So we have no Master Open boards, but of course we have at the moment Exorcism versus Split Push, aka Bulldog style Nature's Prophet. Witchdog getting banned out. This is, I would call this a respect ban, for sure.
I tend to agree, and we saw how powerful the Witch Doctor was in the last game. But you consider they're banning out the Witch Doctor. If you've got a Nature's Prophet split pushing in with the rest of his team, or pushing in with the rest of his team, that reduces the effectiveness of the cast because there are more targets for it to hit in the vicinity.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if that's just a respect, tipping the hat towards WTF here, or maybe they're thinking we want to pick something the Witch Doctor is very good against.
Yep, and our statsman is just giving us the stats through from the Witch Dog last game, that was crazy. Like the total damage done was 9,839 damage, so 10k hero damage, and the healing done was 13k. Absolutely crazy. And even the stuns, oh, I love our stats, man. In summary, 32 seconds other targets were stunned. So that's the work of the Witch Dog in the last game. So I think this absolutely justifies banning out that Witch Dog. He and of course the Axe, they had an amazing game with that aggressive tri-lane. It worked out, and from there on it was just space created. I mean, to be honest, Mushi just did his job. Like, we didn't see like crazy solo plays coming out whatsoever. He just played a Death Prophet as you should play a Death Prophet. Exorcism out on cooldown, may it be team fight, tower or Roshan, and they used it on cooldown effectively as you possibly could do. They even said like, hey X, we don't need you to push, we go 4 men and just use the Exorcism for a tier 3 tower as we saw on the bottom lane. And that's how you play a Death Prophet. Mushi is gonna get a second chance to prove that he is a really, let's say, standardized and very routine Death Prophet player here.
Efficient Death Prophet player.
Efficient, yeah.
Then again, for Mineski, we do see the Jakiro pick up. However, the flip side of the coin, the Rubik and the Clinks for Team Mushi. And I like this Clinks. Clinks can just move around the map. If he has the Orchid, can deal with the Nature's Rat. And that's what he is, yeah. Nature's Rat, no matter how you look at him.
Well, I'm looking at the moment at what Mineski wants to go for here. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, if you have Nature's Prophet and Jakiro, if you put that both together in a lane and you rotate early, that's a lot of push potential coming out. More than Mushi's team has, because Exorcism takes, of course, time till level 6, and a Jakiro and Nature's Prophet can do something already before that. The problem I have is at the moment, if I fast forward this game in my imagination by 10 minutes, may it be even 50 minutes, but then we have a Clinks, Searing Arrows, and Exorcism. I think the longer this game goes, the more pushing potential comes out by Team Mushi here, and the team fight, of course, is also shifting a bit their favor. Even though a Razor can be dangerous, the Wraith King, if he gets proper farm up, that might be exactly the time they need to stall some time. I think the focus in this game is get down Mushi. Like, really, focus the Death Prophet.
I'd agree, focus the Death Prophet, but I have a sneaking suspicion here that we're looking at a last pick Void for Mineski. And then this be a support Wraith King. And the only reason I say that is because of the Macro Pyre as well as Razor being picked up here. I mean, Void would make some sense. Macro Pyre, Chronosphere is one of the legacy combos from Dota. It is one of the ones that stick in my mind as...
Yeah, yes, but it's not very effective. Like, I wouldn't like this. I would not like this. And Mushi also doesn't think this is happening. That's why he didn't bother to ban the Void. I don't think it's coming. And wow, look at Mushi. This is really aggressive. Undying pick always means you want to have early aggression. So we have a tri-lane somewhere. Doom is going to be solo Mushi in the mid on a Death Prophet. That's how I figure this draft at the moment. That all happens after we saw the center as well as the Bane banned. And now it's all about 22 seconds left for Mineski to make that last call. You say it might be a Void. I say no, I don't think so.
I have just this sneaking suspicion sitting at the back of my head thinking, this could be a Void. And Void hasn't been banned in this entire draft. Instead, it'll be a Leshrac. And think about this: the Leshrac, the Jakiro do offer a lot of tower push themselves. Liquid Fire, Diabolic Edict, and the Liquid Fire is the key one there because it slows the tower's fire rate by 50%.
Yeah, it's. I definitely like it. But the problem is, if you don't get this through, if your early game crumbles under the pressure of the other side, or just better fights or better trades, then this will fall apart very fast, faster than last game. Because if this lineup here, Jakiro and Leshrac, does not work out, and they don't get the tower gold, etc., and maybe even the fights, then they will see their base fall in 20 minutes. We saw similar, not as like this is a mixed one for both teams. But if you guys know, for example, teams like Balkan Bears, like the MMR teams, like a team that is just founded of top MMR players, everybody is like 7k, 6k and above. But they play this aggressive style. They play Jakiro, Leshrac, Death Prophet, Undying, etc. Things like that. Just for healing and sustain. Someone will get mech, someone will get the urn. Then we have Diabolic Edict or other stuff like that. And this is how they just go through. And they get the towers within like 10 minutes. All tier 1 towers within 10 minutes. And from there on they just spiral on. That's something at least it's not 100% this strategy, but it goes that way. We have to see how successfully they get it through. Either way, we're gonna introduce the players really fast. We have here Jesse Wash playing the Lashrak. They're already smoked up. Then Mr. Standard, that's Jay Hoven on the Razor. We have Playhard, the other Standard on the Wraith King behind them. That is 5593, aka Ova. And the one who's already standing in mid, that's Jacko on the Nature's Prophet. And let's see if they're gonna find someone with that smoke.
They possibly will, and it'll be Mushi if anyone, but he's going to be well enough away with that skeleton walk. He's not going to risk getting caught.
Yeah,
then again,
that was a fast reaction.
He's looping around. He's going to walk back into the sentry range if he is not careful here. But Mushi should be well enough away of this one. On the flip side of the coin, however, for the side of Team Mushi, we do have Mushi on the Clinks. On the Rubik, we have Net. Over on the Doom, we have WTF. On the Undying, we have Ohio, and I'm looking forward to seeing Ohio handle this Undying here. Equally, pings going out. Camps are being blocked here by the side of Mineski. They want to try to deny the pulls and the creep experience from this safe lane. And finally, however, for Team Mushi, we have KYXY on that Death Prophet.
Yep, that is our mid Death Prophet, and well, it's fairly interesting. Like, I expected Mushi again on the Death Prophet, but now it's KYXY. We saw that yesterday already, that KYXY and Mushi share the mid role, and, well, let's see. Playing hard here. Is this stun coming out?
They're going to go on to Net, and that's the easiest target here, but you've got Ohio, who can still start dropping decays, but they're not going to be able to save the Rubik in time. That should be first blood, yes. Going towards Jehoven on that Razor. However, Ohio's starting to do some good physical damage himself. He's stolen 4 stacks of strength right now, and he can start to chop away these heroes. It's one of the strengths of the Undying, no pun intended.
Yeah,
he's going to zone out the sports here.
And now he even got 6 stacks, but the problem is some of his damage is now getting stolen by the Razor, and yeah, well, it's a good start from Mineski. That's how you should do it, that's how you need to do it. The laning stage needs to be successful, so I think the most important thing is, like, get this tri-lane through. The second important thing is that Jacko, with his interesting approach to go mid with a Nature's Prophet, which we also saw in this series and of course also in other C games of the last week. If this is getting through, might be interesting. So it is all about pretty much Mushi, well, getting the farm up, and we have to see also how the Doom is doing. But I think Chikiro versus Doom, that might be till level 6 at least, till the Doom comes out, fairly even. We have to see how the Chikiro finds the farm. He does not have anything for right clicks, which is kind of bad news, but the more levels he gets, the more harass he can do on the Doom, and the Doom has to use his Scorched Earth.
I'd completely agree, and this is a curious one for me. You mentioned before, just before we introduced the players, that the BBC, the Balkan Bears Corleone, like to run the Leshrac, yeah?
Yep.
They have a different approach to it, however. They run it as a core, whereas Mineski decided to run the Jakiro effectively as the core instead.
Yep, it's actually we is the main player there of Balkan Bears. He's also playing the Jakiro, but he's playing it mid. He has a different approach though, because this Jakiro he has boot and just a branch. Well, for example, we is starting mostly with a Null's Talisman just for the right clicks, because that's the biggest problem. I mean, you have a Doom, and a Doom is not too scared at the moment in the earlier levels, so the right click fight might go a bit in his favor, but so far he's doing well. 12 and 6, and a Doom of course with the Devour, but still only 9-0. So Jakiro so far doing fine, and as I said, a Jakiro, till he has level 4 Liquid Fire, he is a nuisance, and with level 4 Liquid Fire he is someone who can just drive you out of lane so easily. That cooldown, or the low cooldown, is so ridiculous on that spell.
Not to mention the attack speed reduction, which I think is the strongest aspect of that. Throwing that on the carry, throwing that on a tower, it can turn around a tower and let you fight under a tier 1 or a tier 2 very easily.
Yep, absolutely, and yeah, we are 3 minutes in, and after that first blood, it slowed down. So far, nobody really attempts anything. Just that Jakiro is putting up the harass all the time, Liquid Fire and the level 1 breath, as we are already used to it. But this tri-lane, no, there's not much coming. There's also not much they can do, because there's no detection at the moment. Mineski has no detection but dust now on the Wraith King. It arrived with the last courier. So that dust of course might be interesting, because they need to kill Mushi eventually, and that dust being used.
Well, they're going straight onto Mushi, and they'll be able to blast him down, especially with the investment from Jacko here as well. He's going to TP, and they're going to look for the extra kill onto Net, and they will do so, but the zombies are starting to stack up. Will they be able to get anything off the back of that? I don't think so, not with not with Jehovan rotating in with the Razor as well, stealing a good amount of damage from Ohio. Could they potentially find play hard with the counter kill? If they kill the Wraith King, it'll be something certainly, but almost risking losing KYXY, and he's going to be forced back out of the lane. And Ohio, the only one standing from the Radiant tri-lane here from Team Mushi. But this is a very unpleasant position for them to be in.
Absolutely. Like Mineski making here a better trade. I mean, KYXY might come back here because he just found a haste rune. Now, using all the bottle charges, and with a haste rune, he might even get a kill. Only problem is, like, on this lane, everybody's full HP again. They even have a stun, another Wraith Fire blast. So, I don't know if KYXY is wasting time here. He's also not level 6, which means he can't really chase with the Exorcism up on a solo target. But overall, the funny part is, the only one who did not rotate was the Jakiro and the Doom. Everyone else just joined the fray here, and they were so eager. Now, Mushi KYXY changing the position, and that's awesome. It's an awesome reaction. Oh, but Jakiro, they open on him. There is the Scorched Earth. They want to follow him, but he's doing a ton of damage, and I don't think he's getting out of this.
No, he's not. Even with the tower and the liquid fire on the Doom, it's too much damage to throw into the Jakiro. And
oh, but the Furion might be interested in something. No, he's not coming out. I'm curious why the Furion did not use, for example, his Nature's Wrath. I thought that was ready, but apparently it was not. And okay, I really had a distinct feeling that Mineski could have turned around here and made something possible on the Doom, for example. But no, even Net was really
going
low.
straight onto KYXY, and the Sprout will be there, but well, KYXY will just tunnel out of that with his last remaining tango. He's safe. He's more than safe. And at this point it's investment from Jacko for nothing here right now, and this is a poor investment of time in some ways. But
but the Jakiro on Net here, and wow, that is already enough. The Nature's Wrath is finishing it. I think he would have even died by just damage over time here. The dots on him were ticking. That was the level 2 breath as well as the level 3 liquid fire. So easy one for Ova here. He's getting his revenge, and now he's even gonna start on a Doom. He's like, hello Doom. But the funny thing is, he doesn't even put the liquid fire on the Doom. He puts it on the tower just to get the pressure up there. But now, what's happening here in the mid?
You got the rotation coming in from Jesse Vash and from Playhard, and they can certainly kill Mushi right now, especially with that dust being used. It does slow invis targets by 10%, and now we get the TP in from that Nature's Prophet. Can they find the kill with Jacko's help? They certainly can. They get the stun onto Mushi, but they're going to fall back. They don't want to risk fighting Ohio, especially specifically with that Tombstone up in 5 seconds, and Trader blows back into Jesse Bash. It's a bit of a stalemate here in the mid lane.
Oh, but there's a Doom on a Jakiro top, and now the Doom, of course, is just following him, and that Jakiro, it's very unlikely that he managed to get out of there. But there is a rotation. Nice stun here by Jesse Vash, and that should buy him the time. I don't even think they need to deny him. No, he's going to survive this.
He'll survive the Doom, but I was going to say, you have to respect the Doom. You're going up there solo, 1v1 versus a Doom. Doom counters everyone for good reason.
Absolutely. Like, that's why I said, like, the lane should be fairly even till level 6, but as soon as a Doom has Doom, then they can go for it. But now Jesse Wash finds himself here alone. Well, there's a smoke gank on the way. Net and Ohio coming in, and this is, I think that is it for Jesse Wash. Rotations, maybe.
He's not going to escape this one, and they're not going to rotate when there's the Tombstone down. TPing into the Tombstone is near enough a death sentence, and the kill will go the way of Net. And now getting some good damage on the tier 1 as well. But meantime, in the mid lane, speaking of pressure, Mushi's trying to exert some against Jacko here.
Yep, and look at KYXY's build. That's also very interesting. He's going for the combat build on the Death Prophet, 4 points Witchcraft for the maximum mana reduction, and then just spamming out that Crypt Swarm. So he's gonna pick up the Exorcism at level 9. I actually like this build. If you don't plan to go for early towers and really just for combat all the way, I like this build a lot.
I'd completely agree. The combat build, especially against the draft for Mineski, is going to be very effective. And you consider Mineski, they want to fight. They pick a Leshrak and a Jakiro. Those are two heroes that want to fight. They bring good team fight and good stuns. Mix in a Wraith King, he's going to be trying to get in your face as much as possible. The brawling build, the team fight build, I completely agree is the right choice here.
Absolutely, and well, so far the game really slowed a bit down. They just go if they find like 100% kill, like on Jesse Wash, where they knew, hey, this guy is somewhere under our tower. But in the mid, you might see something here. Nature's Wrath flying. Mushi has to be careful with his HP there. Jesus, he still has the tower aggro.
Well, they're going to go on to Jacko instead. Do they silence him? Do they have the point in silence? No, they don't, and they should be safe. Then again, one stun, not going to be enough, and a TP away by Jacko. He's going to be back in the back on the top lane. He didn't go to the fountain instead. They're going to go on to the Doom, which I thought wouldn't happen, considering how low HP the Nature's Prophet was. And you can just see the pressure that KYXY is exerting here. One more Crypt Swarm, doesn't have the mana for it, unfortunately. Could be enough to bring down Playhard. He is only level 5, does not have that reincarnation. The Decay misses as well, unfortunately, but the Crypt Swarm won't. And KYXY will clean up that extra.
Yep, that's the power of a Witchcraft build. That's a level 4, and with these 3, I think he only had 3 or 4 stick charges, and that was enough to just give him exactly the mana for the Crypt Swarm. That's just perfect. The cooldown is decrease is just amazing. You just need to follow a target. Wait, that is cooldown increase. How much is it in summary? But yeah, it's 4 seconds.
Cooldown decrease on Witchcraft, yeah. You get negative 4 seconds across the Crypt Swarm. It's a pretty damn impressive skill. And I can understand why the passive's maxed first, in all honesty. It is such an effective passive. It works on everything.
Yep, absolutely. And well, let's see what else is happening here at the moment. It is equal. Mushi in the mid. Do they have detection? No, they don't. There is a stun on Mushi. Is that enough? Just the right clicks?
Not with the Skeleton Walk. Skeleton Walk is near an instant invis, and it gives so much movement speed as well. Mushi would be far enough away from that.
Well,
he's going to lurk around just for threat, but top lane, well, they will bring down the Wraith King.
Absolutely. The Fate Ball was the demise there of the poor Wraith King. So in the end, it took 10 minutes, and Gigabyte Mushi team is taking over the lead. I mean, they're gonna lose a tower now for this, but Mushi escaped, and that's, of course, the important thing. At the same time, they're probably gonna pressure that tower top, and I don't think Mineski is gonna rotate in here. So in the end, it is a tower trade and a Wraith King on top of it. That's, if you take everything in consideration, a 1 trade by Team Mushi here.
I'd completely agree, and it's going to be up to Team Mushi to keep acquiring those trades, to keep things going in their favour. And if you look at certain items that are coming online for Team Mushi, on WTF, they have that Midas sitting in his stash. He wants that delivered as soon as possible, and it's flying out to him now. That's going to help him get level acceleration, most importantly. Get that level 2 Doom up, get that extra gold, and from there, where do you think we're going to see the Doom go this game? Could we see the likes of a Shivas in this game, or the AC? Something to patch that armor hole?
I think Mushi is gonna be the central carry with the Exorcism, and the Doom is gonna be an aura carrier. So we're gonna see maybe even the Floods, Shivas, AC. These are the auras they are looking for, because everything else will be covered by the supports, and well.
The supports will be, I
You had to read as well, like that there was a lot of stats there. I had to comprehend it. Actually, I was not fast enough, so I leave that one to you.
Yeah, the 404 build apparently has a 70% win rate over 8 games. And honestly, to brawl with a build like that, I can completely understand that. And you would consider, do we want to run that against a team fighter? Yes, we certainly do. But one thing that sits in my mind, maybe the point in silence would be a very big impact in this one, an earlier point maybe, because that would then give the ability to break that Nature's Prophet TP to
Net
the Wraith King.
He's getting stunned here. Telekinesis at the same time now, but the Exorcism is coming out and the Wraith King is dying right away. Not even the mech could help there, and now they want to go for more. With that Exorcism still ticking, they might as well just go for that tower. The creep wave will come in just a second, but even without, the Doom can just tank it, as well as the Death Prophet, because they don't have to fear for their HP.
Very true, and we will get some harassment thrown from the Leshrac and from the Jakira, but it does not matter at this point. And WTF will start to get very aggressive here. This is the one thing you've got to consider. The Wraith King at this point evaporates versus the damage of Team Mushi, and it is their biggest strength, in all honesty. And I could see them resetting.
Oh, what you doing, Jacko? There's the silence, another Crypt Swarm. Oh, he's getting down. He wanted that tower, but he paid for it. I don't know why he went in there. He was already out. He was safe. But the greed, going for that tower, that is just bad. But I think bottom here, we see even more.
Yeah, there's going to be more action down here. We do get the initiation onto WTF. He's going to be a good number of stuns, but equally, though, Doom thrown onto Oa. He's going to have to get the hell out of dodge on this one. Double stun, however, comes in from the Doom. Tombstone deployed as well. Can they look for any more? Or are we going to see a turnaround? Mushi taking a good chunk of damage, but down goes the Jakira, down goes the Wraith King. He's going to come back up with the reincarnation. But the zombies are all over the place. That Tombstone has done so much work this game. He's going to stun WTF, and now Playhard needs to get the hell out of dodge, but Mushi could get in front of him and block him if he's careful. And it's certainly what he's looking to do here. He's shadowing Playhard. Playhard hides in the trees. They know about this, and he's going to be blocked in. Telekinesis up, thrown into the neutrals, but are they going to be able to get any counter kill here? Playhard's looking to try to get a kill onto Net, but in comes WTF and Fade Bolt to clean that up. Net on a killing spree.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. Like, Net coming in for the telekinesis, and then he was like, oh, hello Rubik, I go for it. But then Undying was like, nah, I just heal you up, and that's all good. So in the end, nice kiting there. That was an awesome trade. And KYXY, nah, the TP top here not getting interrupted as well. That is taking a bad turn for Mineski, and I think we have to look at the graphs. We're 30 minutes in with all that action. We are pretty late on looking at them. 5k experience-wise, working towards the 7.5 mark, and in gold, well, pretty much the same. It's fairly even between gold and experience at the moment.
It's 7.5k gold lead. It's got potential to snowball. It really does. And if we see that death ball start to evolve from Team Mushi, you've got to consider what do they have in terms of ability to kill towers. Searing arrows, exorcism, and then how do they deter the enemy from defending that? They drop a tombstone. Do you really want to TP into a tombstone, Hefla?
No, not really. But look, Mushi is looking behind them. There are no sentries by Mineski. This is going to be a bad fight.
Doom thrown immediately on the Razor, and now you've got the Strafe just throwing the damage into Jehovan, and he will just evaporate. Now looking for play hard. He's going to try to TP out, but doesn't manage to do so, and they'll find Jekko as well. The Nature's Prophet falls. It's a 3-0 trade in favour of Team Mushi.
This
Make
is
that 4 for Zil.
Yeah.
And a triple kill for Mushi.
Yeah, Mushi there, like not having detection, not having like this backup sentry wards. This is just a huge mistake by Mineski. Like someone must have had like 200 gold somewhere lying around, and if you push, if you go 4-man somewhere against I don't know, this team, just if they had a sentry there, they could have killed Mushi, but instead Mushi's getting 4, and now he might actually get the 5th one. There is, of course, stick charges and the mech. He won't get this one, but you see how dangerous he is, only with the Orchid. And by the way, just to make the stats then even work, Mushi's one of those guys who's working on it. Oh wait, there we have a Sprout on KYXY. Kiilstofte being used, and now the question is, can they get more?
I don't think so. Now you get the turnaround with the X's and the Tombstones drop as well, and they're going to look to bring down Playhard as quick as possible. Ice Path's going to fly as well, but Mushi in from the side, kills Playhard. Now looking for Jesse Vash, but the stun will come in from the left rank. They're going to look to try to throw some damage into Mushi, but he can't. They cannot kill Mushi at this point, and now we've got the turnaround. KYXY chasing down Jesse Vash. One more Crypt Swarm could be enough for that one. Jehovan trying to throw the plasma field, looking for something more, but KYXY on a dominating, gets the extra kill, and where do they go from here? Well, it's obvious. Mushi starting to crack on that tier 2 tower, and he's already doing some good damage with the searing arrows.
Yep, they split up, like KYXY net in the mid, while the rest here is being used for the other tier 2 towers, so they, I don't know, they're just doing so much, and now they even go for Jekko, but Jekko, oh! That's
The
not
Orchid,
enough.
the Orchid
It is.
yeah.
The Orchid tick, he dies in the fountain. I can't even believe it. But now Mushi, a bit in trouble here, but Skeleton Walk, and he's gone. Like, where did this game go? We started with a 4-1 standing, and that was like 10 minutes ago. And for the last 10 minutes, nobody of Team Mushi died, and Mineski, they're suddenly 4 times, like, in the score down, 16-4 in 60 minutes. This is a bad turn of this game for them.
We can see where this happened. You've got all the extra kills onto Mushi and onto KYXY. The Death Prophet came online with that fighter build that we mentioned before.
Oh, but KYXY out of position here.
Out, but in comes the Doom, looking for something else. The Stomp comes in. Where's the Doom thrown? Thrown onto the left track immediately. Silenced as well. Big silence across 3, and Net's on a Dominator 3. He's looking for more, but he's eating Diabolic Edict damage. In the meantime, however, Razor will fall. They'll pick off Mushi, however, and it's absolute carnage in the mid lane. The Tombstone now deployed as well. In comes Ohio. Wants to get what he can. Level Death finishes off the Wraith King, and now they're going to try to bring down Jacko. And if they can, and it seems they will, that will be a full team wipe. Net on a triple kill, and Mineski eliminated.
Yeah, I actually thought with KYXY immediately down and also Mushi dying in that fight, maybe that is something good for Mineski, but as soon as Ohio joined their ultimate on and that Tombstone, like with so many creeps and everything around, this means tier 2 tower, a full team wipe. This is just not fun. At least Mineski got 2 kills here, 2 important kills, but still. By the way, Net here, he's a sneaky little Grand Magus, because he's like getting all the kill shots.
He's 6-3-7. This is a Rubik that has been on point, stealing the spells that matter. He's had an extra stun this entire game, the Wraith Fire Blast. And what more could he possibly want? He could potentially get TP from the Nature's Prophet. I don't think that's worthwhile. A stun is much more valuable. He can get nothing really that's going to be major from the Razor. The only spell that would be better in my mind would be the Split Earth from the Lesh, because it's instant cast for the Rubik.
Not sure about this. I think the Ray Fire Plus is the easiest one because you also can't do anything wrong with it. It's the same with the Chikuchi. Like these two spells, they're very useful, and since it's like the only spell on the hero, you can't do anything wrong. Okay, the time lapse is there with the Weaver, but still, we have another fight here. Mushi already following Jesse Vash here, but Edict on because he's under a sentry, so Mushi being shoot off for now, but no dust. There's another sentry, but completely off target, and they go for the Wraith King already.
Well, that's going to potentially kill him with the Orchid, and it certainly will. It forces the reincarnation, and now everyone else comes in. Doom being thrown onto Owa. He's going to be forced straight out of the fight and killed immediately by Net, who rotates back in. In the meantime, the rest of Mineski are trying to fall back, but they also lose the Wraith King after the reincarnation. And KYXY, man, you're going deep, man. That's not your base, and they don't even have the tier 2 down. Well, they do now, but...
This is not your base. Wrong base. But yeah, this is... Mineski doesn't even feel safe anymore. Now we have... Oh, wait. That was... The Rubik was just faking to put a ward there here. That is also a nice move. But either way, we had some split push attempt here by the Nature's Prophet. But to be honest, he's also not doing a great job here. Like, they are never under pressure. And if he would completely leave the fight, then they would also probably not find anything. So 23 and 6. It's been 8 minutes we looked the last time at the graphs, but to be honest, I'm a bit scared to look at this graph right now.
Oh, that is a graph. That's approaching the 20k mark for Team Mushi. That is scary.
In both graphs, that is. Like in gold and experience, but now Jacko, what are you doing here? Look at all the blinks coming for Rayfire Plus stolen, and he's down. I think he got Wrath of Nature. No, he didn't even get this one through, so... Bad news. Bad news. Mineski down to 4, and... What's the next step for Mushi? I mean, they can finish this game in the next 5 to 10 minutes, unless Mineski is finding an incredible, miraculous fight to turn this around.
I could see Roshan or the top tier 2 being the next order of business. Then again, Mushi being Mushi right now, he's more interested in hunting and killing players, and he certainly is in position to do so. He's going to go straight for Jesse Vash. The Blink Dagger to dodge the stun. Doesn't manage to bring down the Leshrac in time because of the mechanism, but...
Then plays
the
Mushi.
Damage. If he had used the Orchid, that would potentially have been a kill, just to the Orchid Bloom damage.
Yeah, but also disjointing that stun, like, that is such a swift reaction. He got the spell off, and he got the mech out, and now maybe they want to return it. If they just had a damn smoke, a damn dust, but oh, they find Mushi. Mushi is stunned now, he has nothing, and he will go down.
But the exorcism is there, and now we get the turnaround. Net's going to be forced out, but in comes WTF. Doom cleans up the Nature's Prophet, and that's a double kill for KYXY. In the meantime, however, Net trying to get away from this one, and GG is called.
The admin was faster than we could have seen that team wipe here, but, well, you saw what their goal was. Mineski only had one goal in this game, kill Mushi. As soon as Mushi died, they called it GG. They were like, guys, we might not have won the war, but this one battle against the Mushi was successful. So Mushi down, game GG. My name is HeflaTV, casting with me is Mr. Blackadder, and that's not it. There's one more challenger who wants to get the $500, and that's Team Regal. They're gonna play at 15 CET. That's a bit more than an hour, so stick around with us. Some music, I will talk to you in chat as usual. Either way, we are the guys here from HeflaTV. If you like what we do, of course, then follow us on Twitter and Facebook. On YouTube, I will upload the votes as soon as possible. And of course, follow our English channels, HeflaTV 1 and HeflaTV 2, as well as HeflaMog. Or if you understand Chinese, then 5 and 6 is your channel to follow. So thanks for tuning in, and see you in about an hour. Team Mushi against the last challenger, Team Regal, 15 CET. See you soon.